Hi there and welcome to episode 3 and what I'm hoping will be the final part of making the Paineira dress. I'm super excited because we've only got a little bit to do and I think that I might be able to wear this dress on Friday, which is quite nice. So I'm recording this on Wednesday. The first thing I just wanted to say to you is, well, one thing might not be important to some people, but for some of you it will. Faux. This is faux, okay, so it's just pretend and it just keeps me warm and that's why I like it, that's why I wear it. So that's my first thing. Second thing is, I mentioned Neal's Yard to you. Since mentioning Neal's Yard and all the skincare I've been using, which I'm still absolutely loving, I have received some little packs through the post from Rachel. And Rachel has kindly given me 5 of these little packs. So it's a little leaflet with Neal's Yard information in there and some samples, which is kind of where I started my little journey with Neal's Yard. Covent Garden, didn't realise. So I've got 5 of these packs. If anybody wants them, just send me a message, let me know, and I can get one in the post to you, or you can arrange to come and pick up. But yeah, got 5 of those. When they're gone, they're gone. So we're going to be starting now on the tiers to our little top. To our top. So I just want to explain to you first about the pattern details, because this might get you confused. So what Henry did with this when she put the whole pattern together is she didn't give you pattern pieces for the tiers. The reason for that is because they are simply rectangles that need to be measured out. If she had done those measurements on a piece of paper for you, you probably would have paid an extra £2.50 at the printers to get that printed off, and it would have been a waste of your money for a basic rectangle measurement. So instead she gave you these pieces. I've just ripped mine out there. And hopefully it's been easy enough for you to understand. Hopefully you realise that you just need to fold your fabric over, so you've got a fold line just here. And then it tells you, so this is the bottom tier. And for me, it says, let me turn it around that way. I've cut a size 10. So the width when it's on the fold needed to be 42.5 centimetres. And the drop of it needed to be 26 centimetres. If I lay it then open and flat, it would be 85 centimetres across. And then, of course, you need 2 pieces. And similar for the top tier as well. So hopefully that all makes sense and doesn't confuse you too much. So I'm going to alter my camera angle now so you can see exactly what I'm doing on my table. So these are my 2 top tier pieces. So the first piece is going to drop down from the waist of the skirt. So the first thing you need to do is just lay them nice side to nice side. Now if you remember, mine is kind of hard to work out which is the front and which is the back, the right and the wrong side. So I'm just going to have to guess now. I'm getting a bit confused. That also means it probably doesn't matter too much. So if you just lay one on top of another and pin down the short edges down the side. Now, whatever I do for one tier, I'm going to do exactly the same on the bottom tier as well. So I'm only going to talk you through this one tier. But I'm going to go along now and I'm going to pin. And I shall pin, as I have done all the way along, running it horizontally to the selve edge, or should I say the edge of the fabric. Because I don't need to worry about stretch at this next step, I am going to use a straight stitch to attach those pieces together. And I shall use my 2.5 centimetre stitch length. So that's one set edge done there. Slide it all down. And then I shall do this far end. So those edges have been sewn on that straight stitch with the top tier and the bottom tier, and then what we want to do is on each of them we need to do some gathering stitches just like we did on the cuff. So just go to one of your panel pieces, so this for example is the bottom tier, and just on this one edge here, doesn't matter which because they're exactly the same, we're just going to do some gathering stitches. So again, those two parallel lines that run from one seam to another, then another set of parallel lines on the other side. So we're just going to do that on the machine now. So remember, it needs to be within your 1 centimetre seam allowance. I've got a few contrast threads here today because I'm using up some threads as well, and I might pull it out, you never know. Top tier. I'm getting lazy now. I'm only doing one row of gathering stitches rather than two. I'm a bad, evil person. So all the gathering's done just here, and you might spot that I reduced it down to just doing one row of gathering stitches, and I'll just take a chance on snapping a thread. This is my top piece that now all of this has got to be shrunk down to fit that waist. So it's that wide, it needs to be that wide. Okay, so all we need to do is I've laid that down, so I've got an idea of when to stop pulling, and all I'm going to do now is on one side I'm just going to start pulling and gathering just by doing that sliding action that we did before. And today it's going to work beautifully, because that is my plan of the day. So last week I had problems getting those cuffs in, and I half wondered if it was the moon thread that I'd used. So today I switched out for the Gutterman thread. I thought I'd use just a bit of a better quality just in case, and that's gone beautifully. Nicely pulled there. I don't know if it fits exactly yet. I might even have done it too much, but I'm not too worried. I'll sort that out in a minute. Flip it over and we repeat just on the back there. So I just changed my camera angle, so hopefully you can see what I'm now looking at, which is that I've now done all of the gathering just here, and that's the waist of the top that it needs to fit to. But you'll see that as I've pulled, it's not really very evenly distributed. It's kind of flatter here, it's more scrunched up there, there and there. So what I now need to do is make sure that it's evenly distributed. So the width's about right. I probably pulled it in just a little bit too much. So I can just start easing some of that back out again now, until it feels like it's fitting just that bit better. And I'm just looking at one side at a time. I'll deal with the back in just a minute. So I'm just really gently sort of tapping it across, and that looks like now it's going to fit quite nicely. Just a little bit more to take out just there. And there we go. So now if I flip it over and look at the back, I've not done that at all evenly, which is absolutely fine. You just need to get the threads pulled really, and then you can fiddle afterwards. So I just need to actually ease some of that back out as well. So everything's now the right side out. The tier's the right side out, that's the right side out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand inside the skirt piece, and I'm going to flip that over. So now what I've got is the front of the tier against the front of the bodice, and then I can line up the side seams right side to right side. So there we go, there's the lines all met there. Smooth it all down, and then I can pin it. Ouch, or I can pin me. Then if I go over to the other side, exactly the same. So effectively my skirt's now going upwards, up the body. You might find an easier way to do this. This is just my way, just to get it in and held. So that's all nice and lined up there. Another pin. And now what I can do is shake it through. Like so. There. So now everything's going upwards. So now I'm bringing my pins over. Just going to all start lining these edges up and pin all the way along. So all the pins are in, all the stitching's in, so just go around now and take all of your pins out. When you've checked it to make sure that you've got no tucks where you shouldn't have them, then if you want to, you can go in and remove all of your gathering stitches again, just like you did on your cuffs, if you want to. When they're all out, we can pull the skirt down and check it's all as it should be. Like that. So all that's now in, like so. So now all we have to do is repeat with the other tier, adding that to the bottom. So in exactly the same way, we're going to gather that all the way round so that it will match up with the width of the bottom of this tier. So I've got this tier piece and I'm just going to pull and smooth, pull and smooth all the way along, trying to distribute all of those gathers again. So in the same as before, I'm just going to do lots of pulling and then I can pull it back out again if I want to, but I just want to make sure that thread's moving nice and fluid along. Flip it over and then I'm going to do the other side of that tier piece. Okay, and again we're going to be, so this, the dress is the right side out, so now we need to get this right side to right side with the raw edges against the raw edges of the bottom tier. So again, post it all through just as you did before. So the tier is now facing up the dress. Line up your raw edges. Your side seams for your two tiers now, and open those seams. No, I won't because I don't want to go. I'll put one way and one the other, like that, so you were quilting. And then I'm going to pin. And then I'm going to follow that all the way along. So it matches up to the other side. Similar, one lot of seams one way, one the other. And then I'm just going to try my best, lots of fabric now you see, to lay it out. And now we're going to make one of the panel pieces that we've gathered match up widthways with the top tier. So I'm just going to pull some of that gathering back out. It's a lovely floaty dress, this. Don't think it needed much gathering at all, to be honest. No, it didn't. Right, so just pin it as we go along. And now we're going to sew all the way around. Right, so the only thing left for me to do now is to hem it, and to do this I'm going to use my twin needle. I'm going to use the 3mm. You do need it to be ballpoint stretch, jersey, something like that. So just thread up your machine. Now I'm on limited threads now, so I am going for a bit of a contrast colour. I need to pop this onto the top to give me the second spool pin that I need. So I'm using very little of that and hoping I can win, and that one, so they kind of don't go, but I'm just going to go for it anyway. And I'm going to get my machine loaded up and ready to go. I think it's worth having a go with a twin needle if you've not used one so far. Just I've got them both in my hands at the minute, and they're both going through at the same time from the top. And then when I get just down here to this bit here, apologies, take both of them around the first guide there, and then the left needle wants to go behind that guide there, and the right needle doesn't go behind anything. So I'm going to thread up that left needle first, with all of my concentration. Let me give it a little trim. Never do this when it's on camera. There we go. So that's the left needle through and under. And then this one just wants to go straight in to the right hand needle and then under the foot. Now it's a centimetre turn up at the bottom. I think that's what it says. I am naughty and I do not press it under. I'm going to do it as I go. I've increased my stitch length to a number 3. Got my dress. I'm going to start just before a side seam and I'm going to fold under that 1 centimetre seam allowance. So just take it nice and steady as you do this and you should be absolutely fine. And off we go. So I just turn it under as I go like this. And we keep all of our fingers crossed that I don't run out of thread. We've got 2 little rows there coming out on top, which is really, really pretty. If you don't want to use your twin needle, you can use a straight stitch or you can use that zigzag stitch if you wish to do so. So I'm just going to make my way all the way around. The reason why I pull long tails just there is because when I'm using my twin needle, I don't do any reversing. So I'm going to thread all these up now and push them to the wrong side just round here and tie them all off. We did it! There's our dress. Here's the hem with the twin needles. All the gathers. I did have a little tuck somewhere down here on this sort of flattened edge, so I just unpicked it and just reset it. Absolutely fine, no problem to do that. Got 2 layers there, and up there we've got our labelling. Done it. Paineira dress all done. So we're done. Thank you so much for following me as we've been making this dress. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it along the way. Henry and I are really excited to be seeing some of your dresses coming through. Maybe you modelling them. That'd be really nice too. But yeah, all that's left for me to say really is thanks for tuning in every week to watch me make this dress. Next week you will see the quick version of me making the blue hat top on the overlocker. And yeah, just look out for the next instalment. In the meantime, bye bye.